Hi, everybody. This is Marty K. Just wanted to come into the chat and talk today about the 11,780 votes that Trump needed to find. Um, that to me was something that stood out, and I wanted to really talk about it. I know everybody's excited because Georgia likely came through, but make no mistake about it, it was because of black voters and black voter action organizations actually planning for the last couple of years for this time. Um, and I just want people to remember that when Joe Biden was running for president, people discounted people in the South and, said they were low information voters. Now here it is, black people again are holding America accountable while saving its ass at the same time. And, we're seeing in real time how these white politicians are trying to steal the votes and rights of African Americans and other people of color to disenfranchise their vote. It is not fair. It is extremely racist. And I think, the media and white people don't really spend enough time talking about how hard it is for black people to enjoy the same freedoms, liberties, and rights that they have. And then, it's almost like a slap in the face to say, oh, yeah, love black women, follow black women, think a black person, black people came through. But when these black people are fighting any other time, every election cycle to have their votes count and to stay on the, voter rolls, white people are silent. They don't have anything to say. It is so disrespectful. And, um, it's just a symptom of what is wrong with America. The other thing is that phone call. I want to talk about the phone call because it is so significant. I want people to understand that this type of phone call happens all the time. White people do it. These white politicians get together in rooms and have meetings about how they're going to disenfranchise black voters and voters of color, but black voters specifically, and then, come up with a number that they need to win, and probably plans A, B, C, D if these things happen. And we never know about it. So I don't think it is a mistake or it was accidental or it was the first time this type of plan happens by phone with leaders. It happens all the time. That's why, they target certain communities. That is why they know which neighborhoods and zip codes they're going to target. It is intentional. They don't target white people. They don't target white voters. They don't target white communities. They target black communities. And we've already moved on from how these people have had to fight since before November, to not be purged from roles, to get re-added back to the roles after being purged, to verify whether they are still registered. I had to, verify I'm black, and that is a part of our identification. When we register to vote, we put our race or ethnicity and our gender. So we are always targeted, and it's very frustrating that white people don't really understand how hard we have to work, to verify whether or not we're voted, just to cast a vote, while they never have to give it um, any thought whatsoever. So this phone call between Trump and the Georgia Secretary of State is really important. But if you are vested in anti-racism. This is something that you should really pay attention to, and I want you to think about it because we don't have anyone advocating for us. When we are fighting for the right to vote, we're like literally fighting for the right to vote. And when you make it our burden after you fuck up the whole damn country and then say black people save us because you know the majority of white people are racist and they're going to vote for their racist interest, but ask black people who are already struggling, in every sense of the word to, go through the extra burden of trying to figure out how we're going to vote so we can save America. Because when we save ourselves, we save you too. It's just a slap in the face. And um, the casual way, the casual racism that took place during that phone call, and how, the Secretary of State, and he's no saint because he's purged plenty of black votes prior to this call. Um, the only reason we know about the call is because his wife was threatened, his family was threatened. They're on the poo-poo list for the Republican Party. So that's the only reason we know about what happened. If it wasn't for that, we would not know about the call. The black votes would have been purged. The Republicans would have won, and Mitch McConnell still probably would be in power by the end of this week. So make no mistake about it. This, happens all the time. So when you talk about your freedom and your liberties and your voting, um, and you recall, 2020 and all the things that all of us had to go through to vote because white people wanted to stay in power. Think about the fact that we have to do this every 2, 4, 6 years when we go to the polls, when we vote for our local politicians, when we vote for our state representatives, when we vote for national elections. It's the same thing. So you should just make sure that when you um, have the opportunity to um, vote, or even if you're doing advocacy, just make sure that you take into consideration everybody doesn't have the same privileges or rights. And I just want you to remember that. So thank you very much for listening, and I will talk to y'all later.